What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is going to be a beginner's guide to working out. So that includes beginners who are in the beginning stages of lifting, or for those who are planning to or wanting to get started into lifting. As I'm filming this, I'm imagining that I'm in a scenario where like I am your supportive friend or your hype woman, and you're either at home contemplating whether or not to go to the gym, or you're at home like wondering where to start, or you're at the parking lot at the gym like debating on when you should go in or whether you should go in or not, because I've been there. So pretty much my goal for this video, I hope you guys walk away feeling a little more comfortable, a little more confident, and then have a few mental cues that you can implement as you're figuring out how to go about changing and adapting a better mindset as you navigate through your beginning stages. So I hope this helps. So a lot of these stuff are like things that I would look back and tell myself when I was starting, or things that I did and it worked for me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and guess that for a lot of you guys, at least one of the reasons that you are interested in going into fitness is that you have a specific body goal, or you have like aesthetic goals that you're looking to achieve. And I'm also gonna guess that that body goal or aesthetic or look that you're going for, you've probably gotten just spit. So I think that your environment that you surround yourself in is also super important. So basically, before we talk about the mindset and the physical aspect of how to get into it, I'm also going to talk about like your immediate environment. I think that we are what we repeatedly do, and then we are what we are constantly consuming. So consuming as in like what you're constantly exposing yourself to, right? So number one, I would say go through a detox on all your social media accounts. So whether you're using Instagram or YouTube or everything and anything, go through the accounts that you follow and check to make sure that all the accounts that you follow are posting content that makes you feel inspired or leaves you in a positive state. And anything that doesn't leave you in anything better than neutral, really, go through and just delete it. If they're not leaving you feeling inspired, motivated, or anything positive, then like that's gotta go. So if you're constantly exposing yourself to content that's leaving you in a negative state, that's like already detrimental. And you want to start cultivating an environment for yourself that's conducive to bettering your mindset and getting into a better and a more positive state. For example, when about maybe like a couple months into my fitness journey, maybe even a year, I had to go through my account and unfollow a bunch of like model figures that I was following. So I was like aspiring thigh gaps and washboard abs and a tiny waist, when really I'm like 5 feet tall, like I have a very tree trunk body, and if I were to have healthy weight on my body, then like I would never have thigh gaps. So just I had to be realistic about what's attainable for me in a long-term and sustainable method. So I just went through, cut out a bunch of stuff that was no longer serving me, and started following accounts that had like that were inspiring me either through strength or through realistic body goals. So that's number one. Next one is, if you are joining a gym, I want you to remember that by paying the gym membership that everyone else in that gym is also paying, that entitles you to every piece of equipment, every square inch of the space as any other person who's in the gym. So just because someone has more experience doesn't mean that they're more entitled to any piece of equipment. All right, so number three is going to be prioritizing form and safety. So I would say you have one of two options. So basically, one, you can invest in a coach or a personal trainer for at least like 2 to 4 sessions minimum, just to get you started and just to have like an outside perspective watching you go through things and making sure that your form is correct and safe and proper. And if you have any past injuries, how to accommodate for your injuries. And number two, if you don't want to go that route, do your research. So you're either going to be willing to invest the money into paying for a personal trainer or a coach to help guide you through how to do a squat, bench, and deadlift, how to do certain exercises, how to use equipment, etc. Or you are willing to do or put in time to do the research yourself and then figure out what proper form looks like, take videos of yourself, and criticize yourself. Okay, so number one reason why form is important is for your safety. So we want to make sure that you guys are safe and that you're not doing any movements where like if you were to repeat it over time, it would lead into an injury. And then number two, form is important because it's really hard to unlearn a bad habit, and you don't want to spend a lot of time later on having to unlearn a habit when you could be using that time to be making gains. Also, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, but practice makes permanent. So if you're repeatedly practicing shit habits or shit form, that is going to become permanent. So unlearning that's going to be just really difficult and time consuming. So just from the get-go, learn correct form, make sure you're safe, and yeah, just I would hire someone, if not a friend who's more experienced, to just get them to critique you and make sure you're doing everything correctly and safely. I also just wanted to add on that your ego cannot mess with you. So you have to leave your ego at the door. You're going to see people who are squatting more than you, lifting more than you, but that doesn't matter. This is your own journey, okay? So if you let your ego get to you and you're like, oh, he or she is squatting this much, so I'm just going to throw on another weight, and you injure yourself. All right, number 4. So this one's going to be probably just as difficult as any other step or tip, but I get a lot of resistance, especially with new clients who are just joining the gym for the first time, or getting into working out for the first time, or who have never experienced what self-love or positive body image feels like. So this one is taking pictures. So you might be opposed to taking pictures right now because you're not happy with where you're at, or you don't like your body, you don't like how it looks, etc., etc. But I promise you, you are going to thank me for the rest of your fitness journey. Like, I promise you, it's going to feel so uncomfortable doing it. It was uncomfortable for me too. I didn't even start doing it until maybe like a year in, and I regret it so bad. Like, I wish I had beginning stages to compare my progress. Like, I know this is difficult. So like, if you need extra encouragement and you're trying to get started and like you're feeling like iffy about it, like, just post on your story that you did it. You don't even have to post your pictures. Just post on your story that you did it, tag me, and I will hype you the fuck up, okay? So I know this is a really difficult step, but like, you're gonna thank me. I promise you're gonna thank me, okay? And then I would take progress pictures, like maybe like once a month. All right, so number 5 ties in with number 4. This one is to not weigh yourself every single day. So I know it's going to be tempting once you start going to the gym to like see where you're at every single day, but we're humans. We fluctuate in weight, like at least give or take like 5 pounds depending on how tall you are, but how much we weigh in the morning is going to be different from how much you weigh at night. And how much you weigh, for example, if you're a woman, how much you weigh when you're on your period probably is different from how much you weigh on a regular basis. So if anything, if weight loss is your goal, at maximum, I would weigh yourself, like choose a day that you're gonna weigh yourself on a weekly basis and just like keep track there. So that's gonna be a lot better way to track in terms of weight loss. But if like weight loss or weight gain isn't like your primary goal, then I would just step away from the scale. So in addition to the weight fluctuation, another reason why I would not encourage you to weigh yourself on a regular basis is because muscle weighs more than fat. If you are weighing yourself on a regular basis, you are going to condition your brain to obsess over numbers, and that's not the goal. So the goal is like fitness, right? That's including mental fitness, spiritual fitness, emotional fitness, physical fitness, all of that together. So if you are just obsessing over the numbers, like you're just going to lose focus and lose joy in the actual process of being in a fitness journey. So for first-time clients, I always ask them, what are your goals? So it's very common for people to have number-based goals. For example, I want to be a size blank by January, or I want to lose 50 pounds in the next 10 months, or I want to be around 150 pounds by January, etc. Then my follow-up question is, all right, you got two options. Option A, option B, right? So option A is that in the 10 months, you step on the scale, you look, you've lost that 50 pounds. You still kind of feel groggy, you have like still fat somewhere, but the number says you've lost 50 pounds. Option B is that you feel healthier, you feel more energetic, you are more toned, but the scale only says that you've lost 20 pounds. Which do you prefer? And typically people always go for the option B. The goal is body composition change. So what body composition change is that you are literally changing the composition of how your body is made up. So we're changing the ratio of muscle to fat. Muscle weighs more than fat, so the more muscle you have than you currently do, your weight is gonna look heavier, but you're gonna look more toned. And that's why I always say, like, don't focus too much on the weight, especially if you're trying to get toned. So basically the takeaway from that is that the scale isn't always going to be an accurate reflection of your progress. So I would say prioritize how you look and feel as opposed to the numbers on the scale, because if you are taking pictures, like number 4 said, then you're going to be able to see how you are progressively getting more and more toned, and that might not get reflected on the numbers on the scale. All right, so number 6 is going to be having a plan. So whether it's hiring a personal trainer or hiring a coach to come up with a plan for you, or you purchase a template online, make sure you have some kind of plan that you are following. This way you are not wasting time figuring out what to do, navigating or wandering through the gym, and you just know what equipment to go to right away, and you're not wasting time thinking about what to do. You're just spending your time getting work done. Number 7 is progressive overload. So that is going to be a term that you see a lot, especially in like fitness community, because it's super important that you're constantly progressing how much you are putting onto your body. So basically, as you become more and more comfortable with the exercises that you first start out with, your body is going to have an easier time getting through them. And it's not because they're getting easier, it's because you're getting stronger and better. So make sure that as you get more and more comfortable and you master each and every exercise at a certain rep scheme, that you are constantly challenging yourself more. So obviously, if I start out using 5-pound dumbbells this year, then like I don't want to be in the same position 3 years from now using the same 5-pound dumbbells doing the same exercises. I want to make sure that over time I'm able to use more and more weight, and that way you are constantly challenging your muscles, and that way you're constantly challenging and stimulating muscle growth as well. Number 8 is consistency is key. You probably hear this all the time, and it's a cliche for a reason. Having bursts of motivation and just working out when you have the motivation isn't going to get you results. So whether or not you want to show up, that's up to you. Don't expect results that you don't work for, period. And a good way to set yourself up for success and being consistent is having a plan. So whether it's like choosing 4 days out of the week that you are going to make sure that you make it to the gym or do your home workouts, like pick those days and know what time you're going to do it, so that if it's like right after work or if it's right after whatever activity that you have going on. And also have a backup plan in case that one of those 4 days doesn't work out. What day are you going to choose to have a backup? So if, for example, you are working out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, right? If you skip your Friday workout, you can have a plan to be able to make it up on Sunday. So that's just an example. Make sure you have a backup plan so that you're not snowballing into just going back to being out of the gym again. Kind of going along with number 8 is keeping in mind that introducing a new habit into your lifestyle is a lot easier than cutting out a habit. So before you like try to just turn your entire life around in like just one step, if you need to cut out like soda, that's probably going to be a harder step than like introducing some new step. So just like focus on one habit at a time. If your first habit is to just make it to the gym and just show up, or just show up to start change into your workout clothes to do home workouts or whatever it is, just to show up, then like let that be your first goal. And once you have that mastered down and you're like, okay, so for a whole month now I've been able to show up 4 times a week, now I can introduce a new habit. The number 9 is, you guys probably know it's really important to me, food is fuel, not punishment. And I think that especially if you're in the mindset where you think that not eating or exercising is a punishment for you, like it's not. First of all, food is fuel, and working out is not a punishment. Working out, you do that because you love your body, not because you hate your body. So anyways, food is fuel. Make sure that you are getting enough nutrients, hitting your 3 macros. That's protein, carbs, and fats. So especially your protein. So even to maintain muscle, I would recommend that you guys are taking 0.8 times whatever body weight you're at. All right, so take me for example. I weigh about 120 pounds. 120 times 0.8 is around 96. So it's roughly 100, right? So just to maintain my muscles, I'm making sure that I am consuming 100 grams of protein every single day. If I'm trying to bulk like I am right now, I'm aiming for even higher. So about like 120 grams or even more than that. Okay, so number 10, so this is the last one. So number 10 is going to be, don't be afraid to ask for questions. And more likely than not, people are going to want to help you if you ask for it. Like whether it's someone who works there, whether it's someone that you see is clearly more familiar or experienced in the gym, like people want to help and people are more than likely willing to help. That's also how you make friends too. Like ask them and just go up to people and be like, hey, the next time you do like a leg day, like would it be okay if I like joined in on you? Or like one simple question like, hey, can you show me how to use this equipment? Like I'm having trouble figuring it out. Like it might feel scary to just go up and walk up to a person, especially if you're an introvert, but like it just breaks ice, you know, and just having someone to even say hi to makes a huge difference in a gym environment. So that might just be an acquaintance as opposed to like a friend, but it still matters, you know? You just want to like introduce small changes at a time that help you feel more comfortable in the environment that you're in. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. People want to help, dude. All right, so to recap, number 1, curate your feed on social media so that you are cultivating your own environment that is conducive to creating a positive mindset around your fitness journey. Number 2, gym membership means equal access to all parts of the facility, all equipment, etc. Number 3, prioritize form and safety. If you need to, invest in a coach or do your own research. So invest your time into doing the research or invest your money into hiring someone to help you out. Number 4, take progress pictures. Just do it, dude. Just freaking do it. It's embarrassing. Just do it by yourself. No one ever has to see it. Just do it for yourself. Number 5, don't weigh yourself every single day. If you have to, weigh yourself every single week on the same day. So every like Sunday or every Monday, choose a day that you're going to weigh yourself and just only weigh yourself on that specific day. Number 6, have a plan. Whether it's given to you by a coach or personal trainer or you find an online template, have a plan. Number 7, progressive overload. Make sure that you are progressing on a regular basis. You are for sure going to get stronger and better at what you are doing. Make sure you're constantly challenging yourself as you progress. Number 8, consistency is key. You hear it all the time. In order to get results, you gotta stay consistent. You gotta stay at it. Number 9, food is fuel, not punishment. Number 10, don't be afraid to ask questions. And that's about it. Like, keep in mind, like, everyone has their own beginning stages. Like, every single person that you see, whether it's on Instagram or in real life, like, they had their beginning stages too, where they were like trying to muster up the courage to just start, or they had their own obstacles of like, all right, how do I feel more comfortable? And like, they had their uncomfortable stages too, you know? So to put things into perspective, like, if you are choosing between starting now or like in a month, right? So whether you start today or whether you start in 4 weeks, the mental obstacle that you have to go through does not change. If you start today, then as opposed to in 4 weeks, by the time you hit that 4-week mark, 4 weeks into your fitness journey, you're gonna have that much more experience, that much more familiarity, and familiarity breeds confidence, I promise you. At least a little bit. You get to decide. In 4 weeks, do you want to be 4 weeks in, 4 weeks deep, 4 weeks more progressed, or 4 weeks stronger, or do you want to be where you're at right now, where you're trying to decide whether or not to start today? That initial hump will never, it's not going to get easier, you know? Just waiting it out isn't going to help you. It's just going to keep you in an anxious state for a prolonged period of time. So you might as well just get it over with and get started. At some point, everyone was where you are right now. Alright, that is all for me today. I hope you guys found that helpful. And keep me updated on your progress too. Like, I love to hear about you guys like progressing and getting started. It's really excited for me to like see and watch people's fitness journeys, especially in the beginning stages, like going from like doubting themselves to like seeing them like grow more and more confident. That's like, I think it's beautiful, I think it's amazing, and I love seeing that. So like, please keep me updated, whether it's like DMing me or tagging me in your story, letting me know like, oh, today's my first day, or today's the first time I went to the gym, or today's my 4th week in a row that I stopped weighing myself, or today's the 4th week in a row that I made it to the gym 4 times a week, or I did the home workouts for a month straight, or whatever it is. Like, whatever your progress is, like, I'd love to hear about it. So yeah, just like shoot me a DM or tag me in a story and let me know, because I'd love to hear about it. Alright, so that's a wrap. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And besides that, I'll see you on Instagram throughout the week and see you on YouTube next week. Thank you!